the ship and the effects related to the episode, and they're being worked on and dropped in place, and then it will be all color corrected, and then it will be mixed. The sound will be mixed and designed, and all of the effects and music will be put in. Yeah?
Okay, I don't know if it's ready, but there's a 2-day contract convention coming to town.
Oh, here in Seattle.
Here in Seattle. It's going to be at the Seattle Hotel on October 24th.
What's the name?
It's a contract convention. It's 2 days at the Seattle Hotel on October 24th, 25th. And yes, William Shatner is coming.
Oh, really? Shatner's coming? Woo! Awesome. Star Trek fans, there'll be a Star Trek convention. So, yes, good to know.
The website you can go to get all the information is Creation ENT.
Oh, it's a Creation Con. Okay. Creation ENT. Like entertainment. Yes?
You created all the original Star Trek ships that you create the planets and
Well, you remember that 10,200 feet I told you about? The original series had? One thing that we do not currently have the space for is a planet setting. A lot of their planets, you remember, were like studio. They had a big site, big colored site, and fake rocks and everything. We want to do that. And I'll tell you this, the building that we are in is actually an 19,200 square foot building, and it's cut in half. And we have one half, and there's a church that has the other half. Which I love, by the way. I actually spoke at their church last time I was down there. Great people. And they love what we're doing. And they've opened up, like we can go over there and use their any facilities that we need that they have. But there's more to the building. So if we're able to raise money for the production and we're able to expand, that was the first thing that we talked about, was how awesome would it be to make a planet setting and shoot, and create one of those planet sets like they did in the original series. Yes! Battle of the Gorn again. Did I answer your question? Oh, I did. May 24th. The episode will be available immediately after that. Yes, as soon as we premiere it on May 24th, it will be available on, you'll see it online. StarTrekContinues.com will probably have links. In fact, go there anyway. Go to our website, StarTrekContinues.com. I believe we have a Twitter page as well, and stay up to date on what's going on. There's some great pictures and stuff up there. And as soon as we premiere it at Phoenix Comic-Con, it'll be on the internet to be seen. And Vimeo, we have a Vimeo account, YouTube, and you could go to StarTrekContinues.com and click probably a link that'll take you directly there, or you can just go to those places. Yes?
I was really amazed and impressed with the music cues. I mean, the production looks fantastic, but do you use some of the same?
Oh yeah, it's the same music. Oh yeah. As a musician, I know very well that a lot of the feeling of Star Trek comes from the music of Star Trek. That original series music is so classic, it's so readily identifiable and iconic, good word, that there's nobody, I don't even know anybody. I'm a composer, and I wouldn't want to try to compose that. It would be too much work. Now, I think you did see in the credits additional music. Did you see that? You know what that was? In the original episode, the first vignette we saw, in the first vignette, when they step into the turbo lift, there was a music cue from the original episode. We used all the same music from Turnabout Trigger, but when we stepped into the turbo lift and the scene continued, there wasn't any music for that. So I wrote something, and literally my piece comes right out of the end seamlessly. It's this beautiful little clarinet solo, and just a it feels very much like the original. You wouldn't even know if somebody didn't say, Vic wrote this, and then when Kirk comes onto the bridge, and he sits down and Spock and he have that short little conversation, and then when Kirk says, I believe we were scheduled to rendezvous with the Potemkin, the music picks up, and onward, forward. Well, the music cue that I wanted to use wasn't long enough. So I basically recorded and played all the instruments and created an extension to the original piece to make it long enough for the scene. So probably the best compliment would be, I don't know where your music ended and the original music started. So that's, yeah, but I mean, I was just in the UK last week at a convention, and on the 11-hour flight back, you know what I did with the entire time? I sat there with my laptop and the complete collection of music and listened to music cues, looking for certain things that we could use for this episode that we're about to release. Like I thought, this is the mood I'm looking for. And I would literally just sit there with my headphones on and scroll through the tracks. Wait, oh yeah, that would be great for that scene, you know? And yeah. Yes?
How long did it take to build that set from the very beginning to very end?
Good question. How long did it take to build a set? Well, the bridge had been built, but all the rest of it had not been.
How long did the bridge take?
I don't know, because I wasn't around at the time. But I would say probably a year and a half. Year and a half. It's amazing, you guys. It's amazing. It's amazing. In fact, oh my gosh, you're gonna love this. You saw the vignettes. I want you to be honest with me. You could lie, but I want you to be honest. How many of you consciously noticed and made a point of noticing that the lights on the bridge were not flashing? Not many of you. They weren't flashing. The little computer screens around the consoles, they weren't moving. Well, that's because we hadn't gotten that far yet in building. However, our DP, Matt Busey, you saw his name up there, he's a freaking genius, all right? I mean, he's amazing. And he decided he was going to take it on himself to make the lights on the bridge flash. So you know what he did? He found on the internet a place where somebody had literally mapped out the light sequences on all of those things. You thought I was a nerd, right? Somebody literally mapped out the sequence of the way the lights flash on those things. And it's on the internet. And Matt got it. But then you know what he did? Talk about, like, attention to detail. He and I went down to the sets a couple times. We'd just take a work weekend, go down there. And I would build like the plantons that were on the walls in the corridor, or I'd be working on the transporter room or something. And Matt was sitting at a table. And you know what he was doing? He had made about 25 foam core boards, about 12 by 12. And then he had marked where the lights were on the graphic, on the plastic graphics, and then he was one at a time by hand, soldering LEDs. And then he would build little compartments out of foam core and hot glue them together, so basically each light would be compartmentalized, so it would bleed, right? I don't even know how long he spent, and 1,000 LEDs. And then he interconnected them all, and they plug into his laptop by USB, and he can program them to flash any way he wants. It's unbelievable, and they're flashing away in the first episode that's going to be out in May. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Are you guys having to deal with any licensing issues?
Good question. Thank you for asking. The licensing issue obviously comes into play if you try to make money with somebody else's property. We have no desire to make money. This is completely a passion project for me. I don't want to tell you how much I personally spent to make this happen. And if you guys, can I be honest with you? Can be honest with you, right?
Yeah, of course.
Everybody asked me, Vic, why don't you launch a Kickstarter? A lot of fans, anime fans, Star Trek fans, they'd throw a few bucks, help you make this. And I said, you know what? That's a really great idea, but I don't want to do that until I show them something that's proof of what we're doing. There are a lot of people that are like, hey, give me $10,000, I want to make something. But they have no proof of concept. They don't have anything to show you that they're really genuine and trustworthy for you to invest in their project. So you know what I did? I decided I am going to single-handedly finance the first episode that is being released in May. And it was considerable. But I came right out of my account. And I'm like, and you know what? Somebody would say, we need this, and it's $1,300. I'm like, here, buy it. I mean, I spared no expense was my point. We're gonna make it right. It's gonna be right, it's gonna look great, we're not gonna cut corners, and that's what we did. And so my desire is, and I'm telling you this so maybe you can spread the word and maybe even be of some help. We will probably launch a Kickstarter for future episodes. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't feel right doing it. You know what I mean? Like ethically right doing it until I had done it myself and proved to you guys that we were actually doing this and what it looks like and that you could be a part of it. So at some point we will be probably launching a Kickstarter and we're not making a penny. The money will go into the production. In other words, the costs of building things, the cost of bringing people together to make the episodes, the cost of the crew, the production crew coming in, all production-related costs. But we're not making a penny of profit, and I'm fine with that. A lot of people don't get that. I've had a lot of people in LA specifically go, what? You spent this much money and you don't want to make any money? What's wrong with you? You don't want to make any money? No, I'm happy. I'm happy and content with what I have. I don't care about being rich. I just want to play Star Trek. So there's no intention to monetize anything, and we can't legally. And traditionally, CBS has left people alone that are doing fan-related things as long as they're not making money with it, because it's their property, and we have no desire to step on that, cross that boundary. So that's where we are. And if you guys, I would be so grateful if you guys would kind of keep an eye out for stuff like that. And then if you're willing or interested to help us, certainly the time will come when, in order to make more episodes, we're going to ask for some help. But at least you can see that we've done it. You know, when you see this first episode, it's gonna blow these away. I mean, it's unbelievable. It looks so good. All the way in the back. Yes, my dear. That's you, all the way in the back. You have a question? I'm sorry? You have a question? Go ahead. Is it anime related? We have a no anime zone right now. I'm sorry, this is a no anime panel. But I love you. I love you. Question? Yes, sir.
Have you had any response from any of the original actors?
Ha ha! You want to hear something? Guess who's doing the voice of our computer? Marina Sirtis. Counselor Troy from Next Generation is the voice of our computer. And I'll tell you something else. I have become very good friends with William Shatner. I mean, he's like, call me Bill. So I call him Bill, okay? But here's the best part. We've had dinner together. We've shared cabs, we've sat around the green room chatting. He wanted to know all about Full Metal. I took 45 minutes one day sitting like this with William Shatner, like this, and he's listening, and I'm telling him the story of Full Metal Alchemist. He's completely intrigued. He was totally intrigued. And you want to hear the best part? The cherry on top was, Michael Dorn is a really good friend of mine, and he's a big anime fan. He asked me if he could borrow Full Metal Alchemist. He wanted to watch it. So a year earlier, I gave Michael Dorn a copy of Full Metal, and he watched. He loved it. So here I am talking with Bill Shatner, telling him about Full Metal. We're in this private green room, and suddenly the door opens, and it was a convention. And Michael Dorn was there as well. And it's Michael, he comes walking in, and I go, Michael, tell Bill about Full Metal Alchemist. And Michael Dorn walks over to Shatner and goes, oh, Bill. It's amazing. It's incredible. And Shatner's like, I want to see it. But here's the best part. In all the time I've ever been with him, I've never even said the words Star Trek. You know why? I bet you know why. Because the moment he sees me as a fan, I won't get within 10 feet of him. But now, right now, he sees me as a peer, as another actor who's signing autographs with him, right? There he is at his table, here I am at mine. And he just sees me as another person. And that's how I've gotten so close to him. And at just the right moment, I'm waiting for it. At just the right moment, I'm gonna be like, hey Bill, check this out. And and because you never know. He might run for the hills, but he might be like, this is amazing. How can I be a part of this? You know, I mean, you never know. He might, if I asked him to do something, maybe he would. But I don't want to blow the relationship. So I'm really trying to, you know, trying to navigate that as delicately as possible. So he doesn't even know I'm a Star Trek fan. He doesn't even know that when my parents divorced when I was 9 years old, Captain Kirk became my father figure. Like, he doesn't know. One day I'm going to tell him. One day I'm going to say, Bill, you have 2 daughters, don't you? And he'll be like, yes, I do. Do you have any sons? No, I don't. Would you like one? Yes, sir. Do we plan on making any movies? Wow. Hadn't thought about it, actually. Hadn't thought that far. Right now, my brain is on getting the first episode released and finding a script for the second episode. Those are the 2 things that I'm interested in doing.